From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital.
Hello and welcome to TrojanVision Midday for January 30th, 2015. I'm Shantia Wilson. Thank you for joining us. Troy University's Student Government Association started their semester with a few empty seats in their Senate. Wednesday, Troy students cast their votes to help fill those vacant seats. Courtney Chandler has the story.
On Wednesday, Troy University students had the opportunity to vote for students to fill vacant offices in the Student Government Association.
So we're having our SGA elections today, and these are our vacancy elections. These are either seats that didn't get filled in the fall or senators that we had that resigned due to personal issues or class issues during the fall semester.
Students came from 8 to 5 to fill vacant seats in dorms and other college departments in the SGA Senate.
We have one at-large seat open. We have 2 seats for the College of Education, 1 for College of Health and Human Services, 1 for Hamill Hall, 1 for Pace Hall, and 1 for Cowart Hall.
Candidates looking to attain vacant positions will have numerous jobs and responsibilities in the SGA and also serve as the voice for the student body here at Troy University.
They will come to SGA meetings, which are held once a week at 6:30 on Tuesdays, and they'll represent the residence hall. So that can be done in a variety of ways, whether it be having a meeting with all their residents and asking them for some problems to be fixed and coming to SGA with resolutions they have that can fix those problems. But essentially, they're just a voice for the people that live in their respective residence halls.
This is only the first of 2 elections held by the SGA for the spring semester.
The next election will be February the 25th, and those will be for the executive offices, so President, Vice President of Legislative Affairs, Vice President of Campus Activities, Clerk, and Secretary.
For students wanting more information about the next SGA election, they can also be informed through the Troy University SGA website or Troy University Student Government Association on Facebook and at Troy SGA on Twitter. This is Courtney Chandler, Troy TrojanVision News.
The new senators will take their seats at the next SGA meeting this Tuesday at 6:30 in the Hall of Honor. Many people associate bingo with the elderly, but that wasn't the case last night, as students played the popular game as a part of a Wednesday night UAC activity. Angel Norris has the story.
Students went old school last night and showed up for the UAC's bingo event. The UAC's movie night chair told us how they came up with the idea.
We came up with bingo night because we have not had bingo night on campus in a long time, and so we decided to bring it back and throw something at the students that they haven't seen in a long time, and we hope that it would bring out a lot of people.
The bingo participants were very excited about the night. When asked why they came, the answers were across the board.
So I was at Saga and we were bored and someone said, hey, let's go to bingo night.
Because I am in UAC and I came out to support bingo night.
It was referred to me by a friend.
I came out to support the UAC and to play bingo with my friends.
Last night, the UAC shook it up when there was a tie with paper, rock, scissors, and dancing. Students could win anything from a Barnes & Noble gift card to a free movie pass. Here's what students thought about losing and winning.
On this thing? No, I didn't win anything, and I feel like I should have because I had the most spirit. I should have won. No, but I was pretty close.
I did not, unfortunately.
The UAC was very happy with the turnout of students, and they hope to have this event again in the near future.
The next UAC event will be Dollar Movie Night next Wednesday. Wednesday, the Troy University Student for Life gathered on the main quad to ask students about the controversial topic of abortion. While enjoying a warm beverage on a cold day, students had the chance to voice their opinion on the topic. Nathaniel Rodriguez has the story.
Troy University Students for Life asked students to partake of hot chocolate and a survey intended to raise awareness of the pro-life cause and gauge the student population's general opinion on the topic of abortion. Students were able to write tally marks for whichever case they believed abortion to be acceptable.
We are giving them the options of always, never, in the case of rape, incest, and when the mother's life is affected, when there's a heartbeat, when the infant has a heartbeat, when the infant has the capacity to feel pain, and when the pregnancy is viable, meaning that the infant can live outside of the womb. So we're just trying to get a feel for what the campus feels about this issue.
In addition to the survey, Students for Life had informational materials for students to look over.
We are giving out kind of self-help books for women that have already experienced the tragedy of abortion, and they basically they give them lists of support groups and things that they can do to kind of help get over their loss. And we also give books out that just kind of informational pamphlets that explain the different stages of pregnancy and the pro-life stance, specific stance on when we believe that human life begins.
Students had mixed opinions of the event, ranging from fully supportive to concerned.
I think it's a good way to truly gauge what people think. It gets a lot of discussion started, it gets people thinking, and I think a lot of times it's a topic people don't want to think about, and having an event like this oftentimes makes people stop and think about it, and I think that's a good thing.
I don't know if their presentation is exactly how I would do it. It seems rather confrontational to have a whiteboard up there with a bunch of like pot marks on each side, especially. It seems like it's just an easy way to instigate an argument on the matter. Like if I were doing it, I would do it with more slips of paper, a more quiet sort of way of doing it. But I mean, it certainly does get people thinking on the matter.
Nathaniel Rodriguez, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The survey results showed that the most popular responses for abortion to never be made legal at 157 votes, for it to be legal in cases of rape or incest at 84 votes, and for it to be legal when the mother's life is at stake at 49 votes. And now taking a look at news from around the state. Federal judge has scheduled a trial April 13th in Opelika for a former worker at the Veterans Administration Health Center in Tuskegee who is accused of sexual abuse of a mental disabled volunteer. Eric Allen of Auburn faces 2 counts of sexual abuse resulting from the incidents. Republican Senator Richard Shelby of Alabama has confirmed that he will run for another term. Shelby, who is now 80, spent 8 years in the Alabama Senate and 8 years in the U.S. House as a Democrat. Before being elected in the Senate in 1986, he switched to the Republican Party in 1994. A man will spend life in prison after being convicted of killing a motorist after a car collision in Montgomery County. Jurors found 23-year-old Nicholas Harris guilty yesterday of capital murder in the shooting death of Darrell Howard Jr. Still to come on Troy TrojanVision News, the 2015 baseball and softball conference rankings are in. Whitney Hartzell will tell us more when she joins us in sports. Plus, a measles outbreak continues to get worse. We'll find out more after the break.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund Reading.
No.
Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
The warrior spirit, it's in there. Always has been. Now let it out and take the world by fire. Train well and learn what it means to be a Troy Trojan. Walk with confidence, conquer, claim territory, and climb ladders. Know that you have the power to stand alone, but the comfort of knowing that you'll never have to. Discover your inner warrior. Find it at troy.edu/spirit.
Now, the latest in Trojan sports on Troy TrojanVision Midday.
It was a record-breaking night for the women's basketball team as they handily defeated the Warhawks of ULM last night in Trojan Arena. Amy Austin has the highlights.
The Trojans are back in the win column after a huge victory over ULM. The women's basketball team defeated the Warhawks 90-51.
It was truly a great win in Trojan Arena tonight against a very good Monroe team that we almost fell to at their place. The difference in tonight's game was the players' intensity and the amount of pressure they applied to them. Monroe actually had a lot of advantages over us when we played there. Their post player was very good against us, and us being without our starting post player, Bree Lancaster, we knew we had to do something different. So our objective was to try not to let them get it down on their end of the court.
The Trojans forced 39 turnovers throughout the game. 27 of those turnovers were in the first half, and head coach Chanda Rigby said that was the game plan for her team.
We forced quite a few turnovers, 39, and that's a lot for this team, and I'm proud of the team. It was a good game plan, and it was executed very well by the team.
After the run of 5 games in 10 days, the break was welcomed by the team, and Rigby said that was what gave her players an extra boost of energy.
I don't know if they felt it, but I felt like a different person tonight. I felt so good walking in that locker room because it seemed like night after night after night last week, we just kept being so tired and having to make ourselves get up. And tonight, it was just natural. We had a pep in our step.
And Rigby said the only thing her team needed to improve on was rebounding. ULM out-rebounded the Trojans 48-45.
The only negative I can say really is that they did out-rebound us by a little. That shouldn't happen, but there weren't many rebounds to get on our end, but they did out-rebound us.
Amy Austin, Troy, TrojanVision Sports.
The Trojans travel to Texas this weekend to take on UT Arlington. Tip-off is set for 5 p.m. Saturday. The men's basketball team weren't so lucky as they lost to the ULM Warhawks 58-55 in overtime. The Trojans led at the break 31-21 after a strong first half, but hot shooting from beyond the arc allowed the Warhawks to tie the Trojans at 44 with 8:30 left in the game. The Warhawks were able to eventually take a lead in overtime, and that was all ULM needed as Troy was unable to fight back. Head coach Phil Cunningham says it was frustrating to see the Trojans squander an early lead.
After Saturday, I didn't think we could get a tougher loss, but we trumped it tonight. To have that big lead in the second half again, and to let them come back, and then even in overtime to be down 6 and not give up and tie it up and have a chance to win it, it's just very frustrating, very frustrating.
The men also travel to Texas this Saturday to take on UT Arlington. Tip-off is set for 7:30. The 2015 baseball season is almost underway as the Trojans' first game approaches next month. Conference standings have been released and the Trojans are ranked at number 5, while UL Lafayette takes the number 1 spot. Last season, the Trojans finished 6th in the conference with a record of 25-32. Sunbelt Freshman of the Year, Mark Skinner, returns to the team as he led the Trojans in the bullpen. Senior David Hall will join Skinner on the preseason all-conference team as the designated hitter. Hall finished the 2014 season with 9 home runs and a .334 average. You can catch the Trojans in their first game against Northwestern State at Riddle Pace Field February 13th. And the softball team also is about to start their season as the preseason polls have been released. The Trojans are picked to finish 6th in the conference while UL Lafayette has been picked to finish 1st. Junior Kate Benton returns to the Trojans team as she was named first-team All-American in 2013 and 2014. Benton holds the single-season and career records in hits, runs scored, stolen bases, and batting average. Junior Sarah Mock will also return to the Trojan squad as she finished last season with 49 strikeouts. Mock also led the Trojans in saves with 3, which tied her for 2nd in the Sun Belt. You can catch the Trojans' first game in Auburn on February 5th. The track and field team will take a break this weekend as they finish up competing in Birmingham last weekend. The Trojans will take time off in preparation for the Middle Tennessee Invitational. This will be the first time Troy competes in the Invitational, and head coach Mark Davis says it's important to get rest for the upcoming meet.
Very, very important. It's a chance for them to recharge and kind of get away from the sport a little bit. I'm giving them a break away from us because, sometimes, coach athlete, we need to have a little bit of separation. So it'll be the first time they've had that for a little while. But I think it's very, very good. If there's any nagging injuries, you can give it a week to rest and not be in that competitive environment to, really tweak anything and make things worse. So
their next meet will be in Murfreesboro, Tennessee on February 7th. So we have most of our teams out on the road, and I'm sure we're all looking forward to the baseball and softball seasons coming up.
Definitely. I know everyone is ready for the baseball and softball season to get ready to start. And now, taking a look at what's happening across the country and around the world, we go to Deidre Green at the Global News Desk.
A health alert this morning. The measles outbreak, which started at Disneyland in California, has grown to nearly 100 cases in 8 states. Don Champion has the latest.
Department of Public Health in Arizona says as many as 1,000 people may have been recently exposed to the measles virus. At this Phoenix area urgent care and specialty clinic, 200 people are being monitored. Dr. Tim Jacks's daughter Maggie may have been exposed at the clinic. She's battling leukemia and cannot be vaccinated.
There's the father side of me that is just off and angry and wanting to protect my family.
In Arizona, there are now 7 confirmed measles cases. Nationwide, cases climbed to 95 Wednesday in 8 states, including Michigan, Arizona, Utah, Washington, Colorado, Oregon, and Nebraska.
The vaccine works by having a critical number of the population receiving the vaccine, and then that disease is not prevalent in the community.
The outbreak links back to 2 Disneyland and Disney California Adventure visitors in December. California health officials say the outbreak is not just connected to park visitors anymore, but now to the broader community. It's troubling considering measles is one of the top 2 contagious viruses known.
We've given people a false sense of security, and it's situations like this, outbreaks like this, that really remind us of the importance of these diseases and really the benefit of vaccine.
Most of the infected were not vaccinated. Don Champion, CBS News, New York.
Authorities in Asia released new details this morning about 2 airplanes that crashed last year, killing hundreds of people. CBS's Tina Kraus reports from London.
Safety investigators in Indonesia say the co-pilot was struggling at the controls just before AirAsia Flight 8501 went down last December. Officials say the more experienced captain took over when the plane began to wobble, then suddenly climbed to more than 37,000 feet. Experts say the quick change in elevation caused the plane to stall, then dive toward the Java Sea, killing all 162 people on board. So far, search teams have recovered wreckage and about 70 bodies. Authorities in Malaysia say crews haven't found a trace of Malaysia Flight 370, which disappeared 9 months before the AirAsia disaster. These Chinese families watched in disbelief Thursday as the government officially declared the crash an accident and said all 239 people on board the missing plane are assumed dead. This woman, who lost her sister and 4 other relatives on the jetliner, says we are so hurt we don't believe a bit of what they're saying. Authorities promise the search for the plane is still a priority. Declaring it an accident clears the way for victims' families to get compensation. Tina Kraus, CBS News.
It's a race against time for federal and state agencies in California scrambling to save an endangered species of salmon. Central California coast coho salmon are a significant part of the area's heritage, and they're disappearing from the state's waterways. A special breeding program may be their last hope to avoid extinction. Danielle Nottingham reports from Sonoma County, California.
The coho salmon that filled the Redwood Creek have all but disappeared. They are on the verge of extinction in California.
Historically, their numbers roamed in the round of 300,000 to 400,000 fish. Today, we are lucky to have about 1,000 wild adults.
Scientists say decades of pollution and construction, together with a long drought, have put the Central California coast coho salmon on the endangered species list.
We've done a lot to cause the problem that we're in, and it's really up to us to find a solution out.
State biologists started collecting the fish 14 years ago and developed a breeding program at the Warm Springs hatchery to try to save the species.
Really, if we didn't start our program when we did, we might have missed the window to have any chance at saving coho.
One of the challenges is to create genetic diversity because inbreeding would weaken an already compromised population of fish.
Each female is spawned with 4 separate males to create 4 full sibling family groups.
Hundreds of thousands of fish that are born in the hatchery will be released into the wild.
Do you think the coho will be saved?
I do. I think it's going to take a lot of teamwork.
But there are wild cards in nature, including climate change, that could undermine the massive efforts to save the coho. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Sonoma County, California.
And that's your news from across the country and around the world. Now back to you, Shantia.
Coming up on Troy TrojanVision Midday, we will meet with one of the world's newest official Steinway artists from right here at Troy University. The weather has been hot and cold this week. Can we expect the weather to get cooler and stay cooler? Kristen Carpenter will let us know coming up in weather.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed ours.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network, now your weather on Troy TrojanVision Midday.
So Kristen, we have had some hot days and some cold days. Can we expect our weather to get consistent?
It unfortunately won't. It's going to rain Sunday, but we'll get to that with our current temperatures. Looking at our current temperatures, our skies are fair. Our temperature is 46 degrees with a relative humidity of 56% and a pressure of 30.36 inches with a wind moving at the north from 5 to 15 miles per hour. Looking at our daily almanac, we have a high of 55 degrees and a low of 28 degrees with no rain predicted right now. Looking from around the state, you can see that we have Mobile at 46 degrees, Birmingham at 43 degrees, Huntsville at 39 degrees, but mainly it's staying around the 40s around the state right now. You can see, looking at our temperatures from around the states, you can see that in Minnesota, it's going to be -5 degrees with the coldest, and in Florida, it moves down to the 60s. Looking at in our area, you can see 43 degrees in Birmingham, 42 in Atlanta, and 59 in Jacksonville, with it getting significantly warmer in Florida. You can see that, looking at our current surface map, you can see that there is a stationary front in the north, which will cause our cold front connected to move down into our area. But looking in our area, you can see that there's this cold front that has caused these cold temperatures in the last 24 to 48 hours. Looking at our Saturday, you can see that there's really not any rain in our area, but it's possible. Sunday, you can see the rain has now moved in, so you need to make sure that you keep your rain boots because there will be some rain this Sunday. Monday, you can see that the rain has moved out, and Tuesday, the rain is still moved out, but Tuesday night, there is a chance that you will see some rain. Looking at tonight, it's mostly clear with a 28-degree low, winds moving at the north at 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, it'll be mostly sunny at a high of 58 degrees and wind moving in from the east at 5 miles per hour. And so tomorrow, you need to make sure that you have perfect conditions. So make sure you go out and you have a good day tomorrow. Looking at our 4-day forecast, you can see that Saturday, it'll be 58 degrees with a low of 36 degrees. Sunday, we'll see our rain moving in with a high of 60 degrees and a low of 45 degrees. Monday, with 20% chance of rain with a high of 49 degrees and a low of 29 degrees. And Tuesday, you can see that the rain moves out with a high of 53 degrees and a low of 40 degrees. So Chantel, we want to make sure that Sunday, everyone coming back to Troy with that rain, that they make sure that they're very careful because the roads will be slick with that rain.
Thank you, Kristen. A Troy University music professor was recently awarded recognition by one of the top piano manufacturers in the world. Aaron Taylor finds out more in today's Trojan Talk.
Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Today I'm joined with Dr. Wei-Ting Yang, music professor here at Troy University, a professor of piano. But most importantly, for the purposes of this interview, is an official Steinway artist.
Thank you.
The designation that you've recently received. And so for the folks at home who may not be familiar with the importance of that designation, please let us know, what exactly is a Steinway artist?
The Steinway artist is an international recognition for pianists in association with the Steinway pianos.
Okay.
Like a Steinway is the standard of excellence for piano, and all Steinway School is the standard of excellence for the university. So the Steinway artist is the standard of excellence for pianist.
And of course, right now, the university is in the middle of an all Steinway initiative, and the goal is to have the School of Music with nothing but Steinway pianos.
Yes.
As a form of recruiting, because as I've heard that it's the best, and you've mentioned that's the best. So is that, I guess that's the goal, is to show that our students play on the best instruments?
That's true, yeah. And then now we are on the final stage becoming all Steinway School. Once all the piano delivered to the university, which is sometime in this semester, then we will be officially named All Steinway School. And we will receive the plaque of All Steinway School logo directly from the Steinway Company, New York.
Now, how important, I guess, how big of a deal is it for you to be named a Steinway artist? How does it make you feel? Are you excited about this?
Yes, I'm really thrilled and honored. You know, there are 1,600 pianists over the world are Steinway artists. You heard the great pianist Horowitz, Rubinstein, or now the young generation, the Chinese pianist Lang Lang, or Billy Joel, the jazz pianist, and Marcus Roberts. They all Steinway artists. So, I mean, of course, I'm really thrilled and honored to be one of them. And this whole procedure, because in order to become an all Steinway School, you have to meet several different criteria, including you have to be a really active performer nationally, internationally, and you have to have the certain publication. For us, it's a recording, CD release, and of course, you have to own your own Steinway pianos. And once you meet these criteria, you fill out all the applications and then send it to the Steinway Company. And they have their own panel formed directly from the artist and concert department from Steinway Company. And then they review all your applications. Oh, and by the way, I forgot one thing. You have to have a recommendation letter from your local Steinway dealer. And so everything goes to the Steinway Company, and then it takes a long process. Usually it takes like 3 to 6 months, and then they will see if you qualify to be a Steinway artist.
And so now that you're a Steinway artist, one of the perks of being a Steinway artist is you get access to Steinway no matter where you are. Tell me a little about that and that perk.
Oh, yeah. So once you are a Steinway artist, then you know what, your name will be their internationally Steinway artist roster and publicized on their own website. And then when I, for example, if I'm doing the recital in the United States, then I can contact directly to the local dealer to request a Steinway piano, and also request the Steinway technician work on the piano before I walk on the stage.
So everywhere you go,
right, and especially in international, when I travel abroad, I can send my rider directly to the New York company, and then the New York company, they will contact the local dealer and they request a Steinway pianist from me.
And you speaking internationally, because you're about to become an international ambassador for Steinway, right? You're about to make a trip where you're going to show off your abilities as a Steinway pianist,
Yeah, this is really exciting. I have to share with you because in this semester, like sometime in May and June, and I'm going to China. I'm doing the solo recital duo and with the director of a one-to-one program, Sylvia Lee, and to go to those schools which is already partnered with the Troy University through the one-to-one programs. And I'm gonna go there, give a concert, give a master class. And so we're really excited, and also I want to tell them we are the old Steinway School, and we really look forward to attracting more international students come to Troy to study at Troy University.
And of course, that's what it's all about. This entire initiative is encouraging these music students to come here and play on
the best instruments.
The best instruments out there. And of course, we've got one of the best pianists around to play on that. So congratulations once again with this designation. And for anyone out there who hasn't had a chance to hear you, it is definitely a treat to hear you play the piano, especially on these Steinway pianos that we have here populating the School of Music here at Troy University. I want to thank you for joining me here today.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk.
That's all the time we have for Troy Trojan Vision Midday. From all of us here at Trojan Vision, thanks for joining us. Have a fabulous Friday.